Goodison obviously is back on the table, isn't it, as a possibility? So would you prefer Goodison or Anfield? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to the latest agenda on the Blood Red channel with myself, Sean Bradbury and Matt Addison to my left here. A fantastic weekend for the Reds, all told. They bounced back from that dreadful defeat to Watford and the FA Cup loss to Chelsea with a 2-1 win against Bournemouth. But the things we're going to reflect on today, what was going on in Manchester really, which was United beating City 2-0. Well, first of all, Matt, did you see that one coming?
No, I mean, it's a bit of a shock result. Obviously, it's always on the table when it's a derby. Form goes out of the window, as they say. But certainly the performance was far from expected. I thought Manchester City were really poor at times, and United took the chances, to be fair. They had a few, and look, Edison had a bit of a nightmare. But,
bit of a shocker.
Yeah, well, it wasn't his greatest game, but yeah, I mean, 6 points for Liverpool to win the league now.
Well, this is it. So we'll move on to the permutations. So maximum points City can get now is 87. Liverpool are sitting pretty at the top of the table on 82. 2 more wins, like you say, absolutely boxes it off, regardless of results elsewhere. But then this rearrangement on Wednesday night of City's home game against Arsenal and the fact they've got Burnley on Saturday, again before Liverpool play, has thrown some crazy stuff into the mix now. We'll start with the most outlandish one, which is if City lose on Wednesday and they lose on Saturday, Liverpool could be crowned champions at the weekend ahead of the Merseyside derby. First of all, can we rule that one out entirely, or do you think it's possible with the form City are in at the minute?
Look, anything's possible in the Premier League. We've seen that enough times, but I'd be very surprised if they lost 3 games within the space of 7 days.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely wild, and I'd be very, very shocked if that happened. I think there's a possibility of them dropping points, but I mean, I'm not sure if you agree, but I really cannot see Burnley going to the Etihad and pulling out 3 points.
No, as much as I like to say it, I don't think that's going to happen. So to sum up the more likely situation then, if City get less than 4 from the next 2, so Arsenal Wednesday, Burnley Saturday, that then gives Liverpool the chance to go to Goodison and win it on Monday night. So, well, let's deal with that question then first. Goodison on Monday, if that becomes a possibility, where do you stand on this? Because there's been a bit of a debate amongst fans. Would you rather see it won at Anfield, at Palace, say, or is that opportunity for it perhaps to be a Goodison kind of irresistible? How do you see it?
For me personally, I've always said I want it to be at Anfield. I think to be at home, just the whole memories, the moment when you win the league. Obviously, Liverpool supporters, lots of them won't have had that moment yet, but when it happens, that is the moment that you remember, is the moment it was officially confirmed. And I think when you look back at those memories, you want those to be at Anfield, preferably. Of course, Liverpool are in a fantastic situation where there is almost an element of choice about it, which nobody thought that would be the case going into the season. So I'm sure that there's loads of people out there who would say, wherever it happens, it doesn't matter. The fact that they've won it is the main thing. But given the choice, I think, look for the sort of needle side of it. You'd quite like to win it at Goodison Park, but for me, it's got to be Anfield.
Yeah, well, that certainly, at this point in time, regardless of results elsewhere, 2 wins for Liverpool does it. So Palace is a huge possibility for when it could happen. Looking ahead to Wednesday then, which is obviously the next time Liverpool are in action, back in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. That night now is huge in the context of the season and Liverpool's history, really. They've got this massive second leg clash against the Spanish sides, and they've also, everyone will be looking elsewhere, won't they, for City playing Arsenal that night. Do you think what's happened today or Sunday and this weekend with Liverpool winning, City losing, do you think in general that gives everyone a bit of a lift going into Wednesday?
Yeah, I suppose it must do. I mean, obviously, for Jurgen Klopp and the players, their focus is 100% on their own game on Wednesday. But certainly, as you say, for fans inside Anfield and watching on at home as well, I think there'll be certainly one eye will be on Arsenal. I think the Arsenal City game kicks off at 7:30, so there's sort of a half an hour gap at the start before Liverpool kick off. So not quite at exactly the same time, but sort of a slight delay factor there. So it'd be interesting to see if Arsenal took an early lead, how that would impact things. Not that the atmosphere at Anfield will need any stoking up, I'm sure. But look, it can only be a good thing. It's a sort of one step closer to what we both know is going to happen this season, that Liverpool are going to be Premier League champions. And if they can take that into the Champions League as well, then so be it.
And then last point to reflect on then, a bit of a chasing and defeat for Everton, 4-0 loss away to Chelsea. The most dismal defeat of Ancelotti's short reign so far, and not exactly what you'd want ahead of a derby. I mean, we think Liverpool have got an interesting and busy week looking ahead to, the games they've got themselves and keeping an eye on City. But for Everton, it must be pretty excruciating as well, building up to that derby. How do you think they'll be feeling?
Yeah, I mean, off the back of a 4-0 defeat and a dismal performance today, I mean, it's going to be a long week, I think, for Everton fans. But of course, it could even get worse, as we've already mentioned, if Liverpool are going to go there with the potential of confirming that league title, or maybe even already having been confirmed, and that sort of situation, which is what every Everton fan would want to avoid. I mean, it's a difficult sort of position for them to be in, and even without what's happened over the weekend, it would have been difficult, but I think that just makes it 10 times worse.
Absolutely. Right, well, we'll leave it there. That has been your agenda. Stick with the Echo this week. I don't think any of us will really be leaving the office because of all these permutations every day. It almost feels like something momentous can happen. And yeah, this could be a very big week in the context of the Liverpool season. Thank you for listening.